Hello guys and welcome to another video, and I recently got my hands on the CSL Universal Hub V2, and the main reason why I bought this wheel, or why I bought this bundle, was that it's going for $199 or euros, and the wheel itself, if it's sold separately, is going to 130, and if you want to get the CSL Universal Hub sold separately, it's going for $150. So getting a bundle, it seems like a pretty decent deal. It seems like you're saving actually a lot of money. Maybe there is a good reason why. And in this video, I will let you know all about the pros and cons of this product. And yeah, putting this thing together took me about 20 minutes because I really wanted to be as careful as possible not to damage any pins from the wheel. And if you would like to map all of the buttons, and if you do some of custom mapping of the CSL Universal Hub, there is simply no option to do that. So you simply have to go to Fanatec GDDD Pro settings, and here you can, let's say, customize and modify the buttons, but it's not as user-friendly as you might think it is. So here is the handbrake that I mapped. Nothing is actually on my on my next button. So I got the indicator left and right here, and I kind of try to really see what are the best possible options that I had. You have a share button right here. I mean, you can work with these settings, you can play with them, but it's not as user-friendly as I thought it was going to be. So the pause button is right there, and yeah, you can use a couple of these other buttons. I use them as MFD up and down, so I can go from brake and balance to traction control to fuel map settings. And here is my PlayStation button. I usually like to set it up as the biggest button so I don't accidentally press one. And yeah, back buttons is P, and view is, I think, one of the most obvious one because it has this little eye, so it can change your view, but I cannot really say for the other buttons that they are obvious. So MFD up and down is in the upper right corner, and this is where I like it the most. So I can change my MFD. I can go, let's say, change it from, let's say, traction control 1 to traction control 2 if I really need it, and the funky switch is very useful. So in my case, it serves as look left, look right, and look to the back button. And I think it's pretty useful as it is. So this is 330 millimeters, as I said before, while I was using 270 millimeter wheel. Yeah, it's quite a difference. So if you compare the two, you can really see the difference itself. So why am I even mentioning this? Because I'm using a GTD Pro that has 5 Newton meters. So using the same settings on this wheel and same settings on this wheel isn't really gonna work. So on this wheel, I'm feeling all the force feedback, and of course you can find it in the description down below. But while I was using this wheel, I couldn't really feel a thing. And why is that? Because this wheel is wider, giving you more leverage. So for the same amount of force, or for the same amount of torque, you actually have to use less force, and all of the force feedback that is coming from the wheel is gonna feel like numb, like it's almost nothing. So I really had to use the full potential of my wheelbase and a full 5 Newton meters. If you buy a wider wheel like I did, you would need at least 8 Newton meters of torque. So, what really makes this product stand out from all of the other wheels out there? I would say the price is definitely the one that it's making a lot of difference. So, here is the wheel itself. It's looking nice. It's 330 millimeters. It's usually going for 130 euros. So, if you want to get this wheel alone, you can, but getting it in a bundle, it's definitely worth considering because you actually get more value when you buy it in the bundle. But for the price you're paying, I think it's definitely worth something, or it's definitely worth considering if you're on the market to buy a wheel. And yes, I really hope this offer is going to stay because it provides a lot of value. And not to even mention the wheel that you get with the GTDD Pro, it's not even close to something like this. The materials that are used in this one are completely plastic. The quick release system, although is the same, but it's just not the same feeling. The shifters. So this one serves a purpose. Of course, it has a lot more buttons. They are useful. They do what they're supposed to do. The RGB lighting is fine, but this thing is going for 200 euros, and yeah, you got a pretty better wheel rim. So the wheel rim on this one is much better. The stitching, everything, Alcantara leather, and on top of that you got the hub that can be used later on, and on top of that you can pretty much use whatever wheel that you get your hands on, and of course it does need to fit. And it's also compatible with the quick release system too, and I would really like to get one and test it out, or just to make a video about it and see if it's actually worth or not, which will probably happen in the future. But the materials that are used in this one are not exactly what I expected. So I guess you get what you paid for, and this is exactly it. So most of the structure is plastic. Let's be honest, it does bend. It actually bends quite a lot if you put a lot of force into it. I can show you. I actually like that clicky feeling. It does click. But it's not exactly the clicky feeling like you get with magnetic shifters. Of course, there is a price difference, but on top of that, if you can have a look, yeah, there is definitely a difference when shifting gears. But in the end, I don't think the missing of that clicky feeling was even impacting my driving even slightly. So I had full control of the wheel, I had the full control of the car, and I had just about enough forced feedback that I can go through very difficult situations. For example, when the car is losing control, when the car, for example, is sliding, and when I actually need to get that slip angle so the car can turn in better. So for example here, downshifting into first, second and third gear on the way out. So sometimes the car is very slippery here, and you can see that I'm doing very slight modifications on my turning angle so I can keep the car stable. And especially here, second gear was a very tricky one, and you can see that I'm doing those minor adjustments so the car is stable enough and I can get through the corner in a very safe way. So I can't say that it was completely safe because I was really pushing in this lap, but you know, the wheel actually gave me all the force that I wanted and all the force that I needed to achieve a great result. So especially I'm looking forward to this chicane just to show you the amount of control that I had with this wheel. So downshifting to second gear, downshifting into first and just flying through the chicane, of course abusing the track limits, but I was stable while using this wheel. I was actually really comfortable while driving and going through that corner. And second gear on the way out of this one and just looking where the time is going to stop, and it did stop at 1:23.499. So just to give you a clear picture of what happened here, so this was time trial at Daily Race C in Gran Turismo 7, and this lap put me into the top 13 in the world. So the lap time was here and the consistency was also here. And is this thing actually worth getting or not? And my answer to that would be yes. So the wheel rim usually costs 130. This thing, the CSL Universal Hub, goes from 150, and you can get the bundle for 200. So you're getting a lot of value out of this. And of course, if you don't like the rim, you can always sell it. You can get something else. If you don't like the Universal Hub, of course, you can sell it and you can pretty much put something else onto it. This is compatible for PlayStation and PC, and it's not Xbox compatible. And if you're in market for Xbox, please consider getting other wheels. So here, I would definitely say yes, and it is worth it. So guys, if you like this video, please let me know down in the comments, and you can always smash the like button, or you might even want to subscribe to the channel. So until the next time, bye.